clown school, they with your head, they insult you, people are gonna hate you. This is a chance right now to face that directly in a safe environment. I came to it through rules and shame and Catholic guilt. It's a constant thing. You're never over it. I'm starting to give myself way more permission to just do the things I like. It's okay to pursue things that make you happy or give you pleasure. I've felt like my throat chakra is really blocked up. I have a lot I want to say, but it feels stuck. The Hindu priestess, she pulled a flower off the tree and she was like, "Can you eat this?" And I ate the flower. All of a sudden, it just poured out of me. The show, all of it started flowing so easily. It's every type of speech possible in 1 hour. It's called free speech, a big stunt of language, a feat of memory and memorization and speed and combining into one show.
I'm not allowed to eat this cookie until you hit subscribe. Please, I'm hungry.
The Tuna Show, the Tuna Show, the Tuna Show, the Tuna Show.
I am really excited to talk to you for so many reasons. I've only had multi-hyphenate guests on so far, but I think you have the most hyphens of anybody.
I have at least 3 hyphens, I'd say, that I like stick to. Writer, performer. I throw clown in there at the end because I feel like that sums up what I write and perform. And then within each of those, I feel like there's a few hyphens, like a little linguistic tree down from comedy. There's stand-up, sketch. I like to write funny poems. Within poetry, there's a few hyphens down from there, like doing the typewriter stuff, writing my own poems, doing like ensemble, like group performances of poems. So yeah, lots of hyphens.
Is your goal to always be furthering yourself in all 3 of those main categories, like equally, or are you really pursuing one over the other?
I feel like I'm at a place now where they're starting to combine in a really clear way. For a long time, it would stress me out. I'd be like, I'm doing too many things. I am making progress on all of them, but they never turn out as great as I imagine. And my big thing's been like, I have to limit myself to 2 things at a time for like seasonally almost. So I can have like one big project and then almost like an ephemeral practice project. So like for me right now, that's just writing jokes, a daily kind of throwaway thing. That's like the second thing. I'm at an interesting point where I'm trying to cut and eliminate a lot out. And it feels really good to do less, actually, even though I have all those hyphens.
When you're writing, when you first have an idea, do you know if it's turning into a joke or a poem or a funny poem? Or is it kind of like once you start writing, then you see where it goes?
I think I look at them the same way. Like, I think jokes are just a form of poetry. I always say, like, I wish my comedy friends would read more poetry, and I wish my poetry friends would read or do more comedy. I really think poetry is a way bigger umbrella than we give it credit for. Like, it's not just Robert Frost or cheesy slam poetry that some movies making fun of when the main character walks into a cafe or something. It kind of depends. Sometimes I have a joke, and then it clearly is like, this could be like a longer poem. Maybe this is a scene or something. Sometimes I'll perform a poem and then be like, oh, it's really just that one line that's funny. That's the only thing the audience even cared about. So this is a joke now. It's pretty fluid.
You have a partner that you do performance with. How much of your performing is split between solo versus partner versus group?
I'd say it's been 60-40 with my partner over the past 10 years or so. In 2023 and 2024, we were like producing our own show where we would write and produce like a brand new show every month. It was a variety show, so we'd have guests too. But the main goal of it was like a challenge to write like an hour of sketch once a month on a new theme. And so when we were in the flow of that, it was a lot more partner work. Right now, just because we both moved to LA, I was traveling for months. Right now, it's honestly like 90-10. I'm really just focusing on my own projects right now, which feels really good, actually. I deeply love my partner. We're best friends. We grew up together, chemistry. But I do think it can be really beneficial for partnerships or groups to take a little break and reflect and just remember what it's like to have to self-motivate, not always rely on the other person to like pick up the slack or push you along. It's been really good having to find more of an internal drive for my own work.
How does screenwriting fit into all of this?
I'm not really writing very much narrative stuff at the moment. Like, as far as industry writing, I'm a lot more interested in writing jokes, sketches, things like that. So I guess sketches is in a screenwriting script format, but it's really not my priority right now just because I have a solo show that I'm working on really intensely and just very obsessed with at the moment. I feel like I have that David Lynch, like, wow, I caught a big idea. And it's a really big idea. And I'm having so much fun working on it that for all that, like, multi-hyphenate, all the different stuff I do, right now, in a weird way, I'm talking to you at a time where I have the most laser focused on one thing and one thing only, which is different for me.
What is the topic of the show? Are you allowed to share? It's a secret.
Yeah, I can share. I wasn't sharing for a while because there's that thing of like, you don't want to talk about your idea too much or people's energy will suck some of the energy away from it. But I do feel like I'm far enough along now that I can talk about it. But do you remember the Evolution of Dance video that was a 2005 YouTube hit? It's a stunt of dance where you combine all the different dances into fluid transitions. I'm doing that, but for speech, for language. So it's every type of speech possible in 1 hour, and it's called free speech. And I'm treating it like a big stunt of language where I'm writing things on every category you could possibly think of. Anywhere from hellos and greetings and how are you and small talk to onomatopoeia to language in the media to controversial language that there's been like Supreme Court cases about to poetry, jokes, everything and everything. I'm going to try to do it all in kind of like a fluid 1 hour monologue. And it's been so much fun. And rehearsing it has been such like a feat of memory and memorization and speed and so many things I'm interested in, kind of like combining into one show where it's comedy, it's definitely clown and interactive, but it's poetry mostly in terms of like the rhythm to it. I'm super excited about it. It's kind of while I don't have a job in Los Angeles yet and I have a place to stay, I'm treating it like a writer's residency and just trying to crank it out.
That's amazing. Do you have an ideal time frame for when you're hoping to put it up?
I want to put it up in February. Have 40 minutes out of 60 minutes written. The next 2 weeks, by the end of the year, I want that final 20 finished. And then January is all just memorization and really trying to keep that 60-minute flow and even like having to train my breath to be able to do it because I go very fast. It's like hellos is truly like every type of hello I can think of in 5 minutes. It feels like a physical feat, a writing feat, a performance feat. I'm super excited about it. So February, I want to find a place to put it up, small theater, get my friends and people to put eyes on it, tell me what they like, what they hate, why they think it's terrible, why they think it's awesome. And then from there, March, April, bring it to more places and then start really developing it in the spring.
That's awesome. Man, that's so exciting. Well, I'll probably be back in the US in the spring, so I'll come out to LA and see it in one of its iterations. Yeah,
please do. Or maybe I'll bring it to Philly if you know a good theater there that would love to put up a weird, crazy show.
Absolutely. Yes. I had my hands in the theater pies back when I lived in Philly. Yes, for sure. Who are your comedy influences or inspiration people?
I love Sacha Baron Cohen. His mix of extreme silliness with biting political satire is exactly the lane I like to occupy. He went to the clown school that in France. He's the one who got me interested in going to that school, just watching all his work and watching it not just as a spectator, being like, how the hell did he do this? Like, how did he stay that deep in character, not laugh, be so quick on his feet in real life? I gotta get a piece of that somehow. I need to figure that out. So he's a huge inspiration for a variety of reasons. And then like, besides that, I'm an old soul. I like old comedians. Like, I really like the one-liner comedians. I think Stephen Wright is amazing. You wouldn't be a comedian if you didn't say George Carlin. I love George
I was
Carlin.
just gonna say.
Like,
I feel like George Carlin is one of the comedians who is often referred to as a poet.
100%. My favorite work of his are the ones that are just, they are poetry. He just doesn't tell you that, or he doesn't need to lead into it. His poem that he opened up his 2005 special with, Modern Man, is one of my biggest inspirations. It's one of my favorite works of like solo speech. I think it's wonderful. That and the classic dirty words list, like that sort of flow and almost like taxonomy of language that he does is like, I'd say I'm trying to do that in my show, but not for only like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's huge inspiration. His process I resonate with as well, where he would write his shows like essays and he would rehearse them with a director. Every physical motion, every inflection, every silly face he made, all of that was planned, rehearsed, perfected. I work that way more so than someone who kind of just shoots from the hip and keeps going up on stage a million times till I get it. That part's important too, but I really like that like intense writing, rehearsal, development process.
Did you see Jacqueline Novak's special last year? That was just like an hour-long poem about blowjobs.
No, I gotta watch that.
It's on Netflix. You should definitely watch it. Yeah, it's like an hour-long poem. I mean, like stand-up special poem about blowjobs, but like very, I think you're gonna love it. I'm pretty sure it's called Get on Your Knees.
Okay.
But it's like, it's beautiful.
Novak, blowjobs, writing it
Jacqueline
down.
Novak.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of like modern people today, a big reason why I moved to LA was like the clown scene here. I think Natalie Palamides is just like amazing. Her special Nate, it's a feat of consent through performing and like getting permission from the audience to go to absolutely crazy places. And it's the only scene I've really felt like, oh, people are doing something different here. It doesn't feel like traditional stand-up where it's like, hey, I'm just wearing a hoodie and I'm just kind of casually being funny. I'm not going to be weird, or I'm not going to be funny myself. I'm not going to be silly. The things I say are silly, or my observations are silly. I feel like improv is the same. It's like two people standing in their jeans, just being like, we're talking about what we're doing. And I'm like, be silly. A big rule of mine, like for my own work, is like, don't talk about something that's silly. Be silly. Embody silly is way more interesting to me.
I agree so heartily. That is a beautiful manifesto.
Yeah. Watch some of your dad's videos, by the way. And
that was going to be my next question.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. What an interesting father.
I'm very pleased to hear you watch some of his videos. Yeah. Okay. For context, my dad was a professional mime for 11 years. Now he's a novelist. In between, he had great success in network marketing and business and like being an inspirational speaker in the business landscape. What I wanted to ask you about is your relationship with, I guess, shame and failure. I know that I am very unique in this world because I was raised by my dad, who was the definition of like, there's nothing more important than embodying silliness, making yourself laugh above all else. Like, even if nobody else does, like if you've made yourself giggle, you've won the day. And that's how I've always gone through life. And I love it. Nobody else seems to do that, but I'm guessing you have a good chunk of that.
I love that. I wish that's how I was raised. I feel like I came to it through the exact opposite direction, which was through rules and shame, Catholic guilt and structure. And you're the oldest of 5, and so you better set a good example. My grandma is from Ireland, and she definitely has that like blunt, harsh Irish Catholic sort of attitude where it would just, you come sit down at the dinner table and she's like, what are you doing wearing a hat at the dinner table? Get the hat off. Like, everything's wrong. It doesn't even make sense why you're not allowed to wear a hat at dinner. It's just a rule. My relationship with shame and guilt has probably been my biggest challenge in adolescence and becoming an adult myself. Like, I feel like I'm just at a place where I'm not over that, because it's a constant thing. You're never over it, but I'm starting to give myself way more permission to just do the things I like. It's okay to pursue things that make you happy or give you pleasure. And I think American culture has such a insane on-off switch with that, where it's either the country was Puritans and it's very puritanical and hard work, Protestant work ethic, or it's capitalism is selling you all of your desires to the most extreme. I feel like I've settled like 65 towards pleasure now, recently, and just coming to terms with what I actually get pleasure from, what's healthy pleasure, what's pleasure that motivates me and makes me want to keep working, and not in that like shame, guilt cycle of I have this big goal and maybe I didn't do it and now I'm being myself like, come on, get up early, you got to do it. And like that cycle hasn't worked for me. The past couple of years, I've been spending a lot of time focusing on changing my mindset around that.
Does doing the actual action of putting yourself on stage in front of people, putting your body into unusual positions, making your voice do something unusual, like these are all exercises in like pushing that to its limits, like that a lot of people would be so embarrassed, so ashamed, like they have so much fear around that. So has doing the actions changed your mindset, or has it been like mindset first allows you to get weirder and weirder on stage?
I think a little bit of both. Doing the actions for sure. When I did go to that clown school in France, their methodology is like they fuck with your head and they like insult you. Each teacher or director gives you totally contradicting advice or goals. Like the teacher would say, like, people are gonna hate you. This is a chance right now to like just face that directly in a safe environment, like get used to it. And that really helped. That really helped framing like going to an open mic or doing a showcase, someone else's show, or when I produce my own show, like being like, oh, this is because I like it. It's not because I need to pass the test or prove that like, no, I'm really doing this, or like, you know, prove to whoever in my life who's voiced doubt of this choice or that rule-oriented sort of upbringing. I can just do this because I really enjoy it, and that's enough. Not every time I perform has to be like a test of like, should I do this or should I not? Am I awful? Oh my God, I'm great. My partner and I did a show where we paint ourselves green and we transform into goblins and we sing Rat Pack songs and wear tuxes. And being green in public, it relieves something for sure. But I think I get more out of embracing the fact that I really want to break the rules, more so than like, I need to overcome shame, or like, I'm going to do this gross thing where I'm not wearing clothes on stage. Or if that's what the scene or the bit calls for, I'll do it because it's fun and it makes me feel like I'm breaking the rules, more so than like, I got to do this to work on myself.
Yeah, of course. That makes perfect sense. My dad, he's a dual citizen of Ireland and raised in a very similar upbringing to you. So as I said, after I met you, I think you guys might be like, I don't know, alive at the same time, reincarnation.
Totally. Interesting. Yeah, it really sounds like it. I feel like I need to just sit down with him for a coffee or a drink and just pick his brain too. I'd love to hear all his stories.
He would love to share them. All right. Should we get into your actual to-do list?
Yes, my to-dos.
So you sent me two separate lists. You have new life to do, which is like my favorite heading ever. And a tomorrow.
Yes, new life. It's a new life, and there's much to do in this new life on the West Coast. Everything's new.
Let's start with new life. You have interpersonal. Okay. Can you walk me through what's on the what generally falls under the interpersonal category, and then what are these things?
Interpersonal is probably my biggest weakness is responding to people on my phone, because I try to keep it as far away from me as possible throughout the day and when I'm writing. So I have to have its own section for just like, you gotta respond to these people. These ones you really do have to. Your friend who just sent you an essay about why he's really stressed out right now and why he loves you as a friend, like I can ignore that for like a little bit longer. Those ones for the new life to do for people are just friends I have here in California and in LA who I really need to catch up with, who I'm excited to catch up with, who have cool projects going on, or they know of places I should go perform, or I have to get one of my typewriters fixed and I know there's someone who knows where to do that. Things like that.
That's message Eric and typewriter repair. That's that one.
Yes, that's that one. Eric is one of the founders of the Haikuists, who I do some typewriter poetry for, but they do specifically haikus for people. And so I know he knows where to get a typewriter fixed in LA.
Nice. And then what's meet with Bailey?
Bailey is an actress friend of mine that I met doing performance poetry in Chicago. Wonderful person, dear friend. I just have to meet up with her and hear how the acting life is going.
And then you got Santa Monica Gig Supplies and Message Santa Barbara Lady.
Yes. Santa Monica Gig Supplies, it goes with typewriter repair. I need paper and ribbons. I just need to make sure I have all that stuff before a typing gig in Santa Monica. Santa Barbara Lady was someone I met writing poems for 18 months ago. I was like, oh, I think I'm moving to California. And she's like, well, when you do, I run this like educational programming in Santa Barbara, and I'll hire you to type there. And so it's like, okay, I need some money.
That's awesome.
I got to message her. Yeah.
What is your typewriter gigs usually? I saw on Instagram you advertising yourself that you're available for holiday parties, amongst other things.
Yes, I've done holiday parties. I've done corporate events, weddings, bar mitzvahs. I do it on the street sometimes, busking. That's a really good way to get more of those gigs. It's more fun because you can kind of do whatever you want on the street. The events is like the job's mostly customer service and just being like someone people want to talk to. And then obviously you write them a poem or something and they appreciate that. But when you're on the street, one of the most common requests people want a poem about is something like, can you write a poem for my dog? Which is wonderful. People want poems for their dogs, but I've been doing this for 3 years now. 60% of the requests are for this. And so some days when I'm on the street, I'm just like, no dog poems today. We're writing limericks only, or we're doing sonnets, or I'm only doing silly poems. Give me the weirdest prompt possible. I don't want to write anything sentimental. Like, just pick 3 words and we'll do that. Every context and every event is like totally different.
I love that. And then next we have finished rough draft of Free Speech 3 E's by January 1st.
Yes.
Can you walk me through all of the subsections?
Yes. 3 E's, very important. The script, like the rough draft. I timed myself rehearsing it today. I have about 40 minutes already done. Out of that, I have probably like 20 minutes with all the physicality planned out as well. And so it's really just these last 20 minutes that I'm hoping I can finish writing in the next 2 weeks. And so some of the sections that I'm trying to write is like technical language, like the point where someone's specialty means that the majority of people can't understand the language anymore. So that would be, academic speech, scientific speech, math, legalese. Yeah, exactly. I'm writing little spoof poems for like each of those sections to go in there. That one is, if there was a camera and you could see me in my apartment doing this, you would think something's deeply wrong with me, because I'm trying to figure out, how do I segue from coughing into sneezing, into farting, into ow and exclamations and whoa. That's just me doing every bodily sound with intermixing like onomatopoeias like pow and ooh and and things like that. What else was on there? Oh yeah, poetry section. Yeah, I want like something with poetry in there later in the show. Poetry kind of becomes where we really intentionally like use language. It also is kind of in that technical language area where it can become so specific, like certain people don't understand it, or it breaks the rules of language, so it gives a different feeling or perspective. And then the media section is like the other one I really need to tackle. I have a fantastic piece for advertising that I feel like is every major type of American advertising you could see in one like 5-minute sort of go. Local news, podcasts like this, movie quotes, all sorts, and kind of structure those into like a little mini monologue as well.
What is your work process like? Like, are you ever going out and looking at things for inspiration, or is it just entirely in your brain?
Yes. No, I definitely get references. I look at videos for references. For the advertising one, I just watch football with my dad. And then football is really you're watching advertising with little sections of football clipped in. Yeah. And so I pretty much just sat there one day watching it. And it was like every time a new ad came on, I wrote a different line for like that sort of ad. Okay, Colgate, Minty Fresh, that's in everything. Great. Oh yeah, erectile dysfunctions everywhere all of a sudden. And just combine all of them, swirl them in a pot, and then like sculpt it from there. I definitely go seek out references for like the technical language. I'll use JSTOR, like a college search engine, and I'll go get like articles, research things on different topics. And then I use the cut up technique, if you've heard of it, kind of like collage for language, where I'll just take a bunch of text, I'll put them all in a program, and then the program will blend the text and it'll give you this just monster paragraph with no grammar in it. And then instead of writing like just words from my head, I just use the delete button and I just kind of sculpt it into what seems like normal-ish language. So I kind of just steal or rob text from other places and then recombine it into a poem or a performance piece.
It's amazing. Man, I'm so excited to see this show. This sounds so
Yeah.
freaking cool.
It's been so fun. It's been so fun. I feel like this is a good idea. I've had that feeling before where you're like, oh, this is a really good idea. But this is one where it's like, oh, I'm excited to wake up and I'm going to spend 10, 12 hours on just this today. It's been really fun to go like that deep into one project.
Do you feel like you or the universe was kind of holding this back to time it with your move to LA?
100%. It's really interesting. Before I left Ubud, I did a healing ceremony with a few Hindu priestesses. They said to come in with an intention, had a few intentions. It was very intense. It was like 2 hours. It felt like an ayahuasca ceremony without the plant medicine. And then at the end, I was sitting there sipping my tea, kind of coming back to reality. And the one lady was leaving and she went, oh, by the way, what's going on with your throat? And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. Like, yeah, that was kind of my intention. Like, I've felt like my throat chakra or my throat is really blocked up. Like, I have a lot I want to say, but it feels stuck. And she was like, 1 second. And she went and she pulled a flower off the tree. And she was like, can you eat this? Can you eat this whole thing? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I ate the flower. And then she just walked off. Days after that, all of a sudden, it was this like, it just poured out of me. The show, this idea, conversations with certain friends or family members that like, maybe I was afraid to have, or I was worried about how I'm going to rhetorically say a difficult thing. And all of it started flowing so easily. And I think it definitely was timed with moving to LA, but that as well as like one of the last things I did before leaving Indonesia, then going into this big transition in my life was really fascinating.
That's amazing. And you being open to those experiences and deliberately putting yourself into a place of change and growth potential, even in unconventional ways. Yeah, that's awesome.
Spirituality is actually like it's comedy, it's silly, I'm being so silly, but it's actually like a really big part of my process, a variety of ways, especially the past 3-4 years. Like just working on myself, working on certain childhood things or hangups has actually like taking time to just do that and not be creative has actually made me like a million times more creative in so many ways.
Yeah, of course. That makes perfect sense. All right. Back to your to-do list. We have creative administration. Oh, wow. I like those two words next to each other.
Yeah. That's sort of like, that's things I already have that either need to be put in the right organizational place, need to be updated and ready to go, given the circumstances, knowing how I want to pitch something, writing a log line, or like, how do I explain this really crazy idea to someone who is so not interested in crazy ideas. They just want to know just what is it on a simple level. I struggle with that. I talk about all the crazy different ways I think about it in my process, but that's not helpful most of the time.
On creative administration, you have, what's the Love is Blind script?
I wrote a spoof of Love is Blind that is love is blind, deaf, mute, touchless, and tasteless. So instead of they're in pods where they can't see each other, they're in sensory deprivation tanks. And they just have to sort of intuit who their match is. Because they're so overemphasize like not seeing them. Oh, never seeing them. So I just blew that up to an extreme and was like, what if there was no input at all?
I like that. That sounds hilarious. what's a Tainted Water script?
That was a longer sketch I did with some friends that I wrote about kind of like the Flint water crisis, where there were some of these videos coming out around that time and in other cities that were having water problems, where like the mayor or the alderman would be like, see, this water's fine, glug, 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 and they drink a glass of water. But this was one where it was like a town hall, and my two friends like are angry townspeople at the town hall, and they're like, you want to drink this water? Here, go ahead and drink it. And then we let the audience put whatever they want in the water. So we had like chocolate syrup, mustard, vinegar, like a whole big tray of different sauces and things they could pour in the water. And then I would drink it at the end. It's a really fun scene. And so I got to update that script because I want to perform it soon here in LA.
That sounds very entertaining and very gross for
Yeah. We're not above gross. It's not the main thing, but every so often it's fun to throw in gross. I really appreciate groans. People want laughs. Laughs are good, but I like groans. I like awe. I like ugh. I like all those reactions equal to laughs.
That's great. I love that. Then you have other projects. Finish sculpting Confluence. That's quite a sentence.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Sculpting, it's writing, but I'm just using the delete key, and maybe I'm adding words in certain places. So that's where I already amassed a whole bunch of text. And now I just have to see how it connects. The word daily is here, and then there's like 3 thes and a 2 and an and it feels like daily, the 2 and schedule. Oh, okay, so we'll delete these here, and then, daily schedule, that's fun. I kind of discovered that as I was editing it. And so this is like a big project where I basically took all my personal writings, like journals and poems, and I fed it into this program. It blends up the entire text, and now I'm sculpting a new piece from that blended version. So it's kind of a way of like all that content, all that stuff I wrote that's about myself, it's going to be in that through just the vocabulary that the piece is limited to. But it's going to connect everything in this oblique way, or this ambiguous way, or this indirect way that gives people a feeling, and it feels like prose or it feels like writing, but the way everything is connecting is really unique or juxtaposed in a strange or interesting or funny way. And so that's what Confluence is. I named it Confluence because that's where a bunch of rivers and the ocean will all meet. So it's like all these different streams of my thought all swirled together, and then I edit that into like a new piece. I've done this with like a lot of stuff, but this is one where it's like, this is like a longer thing I would hope to publish one day.
So cool. Man, I like the way your brain works. Next, you have board game, new copy.
Yes, this is another project of mine. So a year ago in Chicago, 6-7 different projects. This has been like a passion project with a friend for like 7 years. We were both of the mindset, like, this doesn't need to become like a really intense project where we have to race to the finish line. So we've been happy developing it slowly over time, but now we're getting to a point where, okay, we want to actually publish this.
So cool, man.
The board game is called, if I can give you my pitch for it, the board game is called the Doldrums. It's called the Doldrums, and it's a pirate-themed board game, and it's like Battleship meets chess. Imagine chess, but the pieces are obscured. So I don't know if you moved your queen or if you moved your pawn or if you moved whatever piece. And it's very, very fun. If you like if you like that process of chess where you just play with a close friend on like a Sunday afternoon and have a cup of coffee and you play for like an hour, this is your type of game.
And then you have plan out mics for Jan and have 5-set, 10-minute set poetry set.
Yeah. So just planning out which open mic do I want to hit when. I like to plan that out ahead of time because you work a whole day or you write a whole day and then it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And you're like, the last thing I want to do is go sit in a bar for 3 hours and listen to everyone perform and maybe I get up, maybe I don't. And so it's so easy to bail on that the day of. So I plan it out ahead of time, and it's like, no, Wednesday the 13th, I'm going no matter what. And I already decided what I'm going to do. I'm not showing up. I mean, sometimes I'll show up and I'll have the thing, and then, okay, do I want to go crazy? Do I want to take a risk? Does this feel like a room where I'm going to do something? I'm willing to do something they don't like and just see how that goes. Or, okay, no, I rehearsed this and like, I really want to see how this goes. So I'll do the main thing I was planning. So I'm just trying to plan out like, all right, what's like the 5-minute set I want to do right now that's like just jokes? If I go to a poetry place, which poem do I want to read? Let's pick like 3 or 4 to have memorized and ready to go. So that's just kind of like, I do that planning like month by month.
Have you already been going to any venues not performing since in the month you've been in LA?
Yeah, I've just been going to see other people's shows, going to see friend shows, going to certain theaters that I've from a distance been watching with great appreciation and admiration. It's so fun. There's so many good shows here. There's so many places to go. There's so many awesome people. I'm loving it. It's definitely filling my cup. I oscillate between like, I want no other artistic input. I'm not watching comedy. I'm not watching people's shows. I'm not watching movies. Like, I'm only doing instrumental music, no lyrics, to, okay, now I'll watch a whole bunch of stuff and I need to go see other people doing stuff.
How long do those oscillations usually last?
Kind of a long time. I'd say like 3-ish months, especially like right now where I'm really developing something specific. I don't know. It's like there's a catchphrase that's going around TikTok and online that's just like create more than you consume, and I'm trying to stick to that for the most part.
It sounds like you're absolutely achieving that.
It's just we're constantly inundated with stuff, and I don't know, it sounds bad as someone who likes to write comedy and poetry and stuff like that, but I turn on my TV and I look at any streaming service and I just go, I don't care. Oh, another movie. Okay. Another show. Cool.
And you feel like that all the time? Kind
of. I don't know. No, sometimes I go on a tear where it's like, oh, this director, how have I never watched this? And then I watch everything they've done in like a week or two. Or all their specials or every album. I like a deep dive. Like recently I've done that with Jacques Tati, a French clown, so famous, considered one of the best directors, but I just never watched his movies. The past couple weeks I've watched all of his movies and he's so fantastic.
That's really cool. What is your relationship to social media and I guess algorithms and stuff like this?
Need to be a lot better and do more. I have such an aversion to social media, and all of my friends are like, we did too, but you gotta do it. We hate it, but you gotta do it.
And you have to post, not that you have to consume.
Yes, exactly. I need to be better at pitching myself in succinct ways and not being overly analytical and self-critical about it. People are way too busy and wrapped up with themselves to be thinking that about me. And it's the same with like a stupid little video on Instagram or TikTok. No one cares. Most likely they just immediately scroll as soon as they see it. Like, just poop it out. But we're working on that.
Wow, I'm really surprised to hear that. What's the difference between doing it on stage versus putting it on the internet?
I think there's something to looking in people's eyes and just being present with people. Even if, I know that sounds crazy, because like if people hate you in a room that like you're in, it's like, oh God, you like really feel the hate. I'm okay with that. Like if someone hates me to my face or is pissed off at me, like I'm fine. But like a latent unknown, never, like there's this phrase that like you become like too self-critical when the imagination is more powerful than your will, or like your will to do something. My imagination is way too powerful through the lens of social media. I immediately assume the worst and just awful things. Whereas if I'm performing in person, I know that table right there, they fucking hated me. And I know that lady over there with the weird laugh, the cackle, she loved it. And like, okay, great. I can take that. That's direct feedback. The internet, this idea of like the invisible audience still holds too much weight over my imagination and my stress.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think I could have done this. I mean, this is my first real personal project. I'm like 2 weeks in, but having done all of my dad's marketing for the past few years and having done it for businesses and other personal brands and stuff, and just like being able to look at it so objectively as whatever, like little, like you said, like, yeah, just pooping it out, like, and what's the little poop package that we're putting it in, and knowing like, okay, yeah, put more on this lever, more on this lever, and that like it is nothing about, if you actually come and watch a 30-minute long YouTube video, then yes, that is about me and my guest and the thing we're creating. But anything that's going on social media or short form or the intro or any of that stuff, it is just about playing a game, pulling the right levers, putting the right inputs, putting the right colors, putting the right blah, blah, blah. Nothing to do with me or anything. Yeah, like there's zero evaluation of me or my guest if you're watching us for less than 90 seconds. Like, yeah, it just doesn't, but I don't think I could come to such a cold distance to understanding of that if I hadn't done it for so many people before myself for so many years, that now like I can just edit myself and be like, yeah, just kind of whatever, just really genuinely not giving a fuck in the realistic way. Yeah, but you don't have time to become a marketing director and do personal branding for 30 other people before you do it for yourself. So not recommending that path.
No,
just saying, if you can borrow any of my wisdom and feelings by osmosis, then I give it to you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's really what I need to hear. It's like it's my final frontier at the moment is social media.
All right, let's go through your tomorrow to-do list, your detailed to-do list real quick.
Yes.
All right, first up is send Jen your to-do list. What's that?
Woohoo! I did it.
Yay!
Today.
You did it several days.
I did.
Very
wanted to have some options. Yeah. I wanted the macro, the like, this is all the shit I have to do in my new life. And then the micro, like, this is how I'm spending my time right now, especially as I don't have a real person job at the moment and I'm only doing my creative projects. I thought it'd be interesting. Yeah. I already talked about the Santa Barbara gig and the emails and stuff. Kettlebell's just kettlebell. I'm a big kettlebell proponent at the moment. I found being in California and being able to just go in the grass and have a kettlebell is such a fun way to work out that doesn't feel robotic and mechanical.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a great workout. And feet on grass is one of the best things you can do for nervous system regulation.
It really is. Grounding. It's one of those, it checks out.
Yeah. Actually works.
I guess what I don't have in there is I was rehearsing out loud too. Like that's a big part of my process. So it's like in the morning I'll go to a coffee shop and write, but I can't perform crazy things in a coffee shop. So I'll come home and then I'll do like on my feet writing where I just talk and talk and talk and then maybe I write a little bit and then I talk and talk and talk. Basically do that till I wear myself out, and then around 4 o'clock I'll work out or I'll go on a run. Like when my brain is totally torched, when I just like can't do anything anymore. Like a lot of people work out in the morning, but I really like to do it like at that point because it gives me a second wind. I feel like after then I'll eat, and then after that I just go right back to work. I'm definitely a night owl, so I'll write most of the night after my workout dinner situation.
Where do you schedule time to hang out with your fiance? Where's your quality time coming?
Quality time is I pick like one day where it's like, this is my day where I can be, well, if we're not doing a fun activity, so if we're not like going hiking or going to the beach or going to see a movie or something, I call it my Gremlin day. I can do whatever I want. If I want to eat pizza naked on the couch and smoke a bunch of weed, that's the day. And so we try to have Gremlin day together when we can. And basically we watch trashy reality TV and get high and eat donuts. And I feel like it's really important to have like 1 or 2 days a month where it's like, I don't have to worry about my behavior at all. This is a libertine day.
And you have that together.
And we have that together. But it's also just like, it's all the time. It's all the time. Like we love being around each other. At the moment, because we're still kind of transitioning, we have a lot of flexibility. So I haven't been scheduling like quality time.
It's not like you won't stop working unless she comes and grabs you or is like, pay attention to me, you know.
Oh no, I would love to be able to work with her in the same room. Even knowing her presence is anywhere around me is like the biggest distraction ever, because all I want to do in life is spend time with her, really. Like I really don't care about anything else. Like that's really all I want to do. So if she's anywhere near me, it's like, I love you, but please get out of the room. I can't. I'm gonna just keep saying things to you. I can't. I cannot focus with her around like that. But like I will literally perform everything I do on stage for her before I do it. Like a one audience member show. And we do that probably every day. Every day at night she's like, "All right, what'd you write tonight? Like, do you want to perform it to me?" Like we did everything. Like before we watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, do you want to read me the poem you wrote? Or
That's an excellent lineup of nightly entertainment.
Oh, it's so great. I love trashy reality TV. I was saying, like, I turn on, Netflix or HBO or something, and I'm like, oh, all this is crap, or all these movies are crap. But reality TV, that is not crap. That's gold.
Very interesting assessment. And I saw you also have news on your daily schedule. So that's like you have to stay relatively up to date so that you can be incorporating that into your stuff.
Yeah, mostly for just like daily joke writing practice. I like to write it about headlines. I was 18 and 19. I cold emailed the head writer of The Onion because I was part of this program that was like encouraging you to like rejection therapy and just cold email and see what happens. You never know. And so I cold emailed the head writer of The Onion at the time. And he actually responded to me and he was like, yeah, if you want to send me, your headlines once a week, I'll give you feedback. And so for a good 2 years, I was doing that with him and he was giving me feedback. And so that's kind of always just been a practice, not specifically only Onion style, but like if Jimmy Kimmel would say a joke like that in his monologue or Weekend Update on SNL, those sorts of like newsy political jokes is just sort of like a weekly practice. I love politics. I was a social studies political junkie through school. So keeping up with the news, I already do that anyway. I just have to do it a bit more when I want to write jokes about the topics. And so I schedule time to do that every day. And it's also kind of a good break from my own project because it's not about my own ideas at all. It's just, okay, healthcare, that's what we're writing about today. It's all here. I don't really have to do too much. I just have to find what's funny about this. Oftentimes it's just sad.
Yeah, but like that's why it needs humor. Okay, final official question. If you could see anybody's to-do list, whether that be a specific person or a job title, whose to-do list would you most like to see?
That's a really good question. I would transport myself to like 2004 when J.J. Abrams was planning Lost or Dan Erickson planning Severance. Like someone who wrote something so massive that goes so many different places, that covers so many different metaphors and weaves together. I just don't even understand, like, as someone who plans and does big, heady concepts, like how you set that up for yourself long term is so fascinating to me. It's something I really want to learn while I'm out here in LA.
Great answer. I would really like to see those. Yeah, not even as like to-do lists, but just like world building structure lists, the Tetris.
Totally.
Ideas.
Totally.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Who's your answer?
I mean, my answer is everybody, and that's why I started a podcast about it.
True.
Yeah.
Fair.
I am very curious about this specific question. I want to see everybody's to-do list.
Well, okay, I'd put it this way then. Like, if you could have any person on the show.
Gosh, a lot of people. I guess the person who's coming to my head, and I really do plan on asking her, is Whitney Lee Morris. She's a small space influencer. She has a newsletter, Substack. She's very big on Instagram. Her newsletter is called Rightsizing. She's a person I go to like almost daily to rein myself in and sanity check when I start getting compulsions to like have or seem like something. And like I go and read her stuff, and it is all about just like, yeah, still having this like beautiful life, but just about being balanced, being right-sized, checking in, thinking, making things creatively, certainly creating more than you consume. She's one of the few, or maybe the only influencer who's been somebody who I turn to for advice on an extremely regular basis for at least 10 years. I am very curious to talk to her and tell her how much she helps me not be a rampant consumerist person. I would also love to have Dax Shepard on, and other big podcasters and other big marketers. I don't mean other like I am one of either of those things, but yes, I'm curious to speak to podcasters and marketers at the top of their game. But everyone's the real answer. Well, where can people find you and stay up to date on all things Ryan?
Yeah, Instagram, Ryan_Doyle, first name, last name. YouTube, I'll put some sketches and jokes on there that I do. Those are the main ones. I'm trying to use TikTok more as well. That's also just my name, Ryan Doyle. And then in the new year, I will be promoting my show, Free Speech, quite a bit. So definitely stay tuned for that.
I'm sorry I kept you for so long. Sorry, not sorry. This was my longest one ever, but like I'm just your brain is so interesting, and I just have a million questions for you. So thank you so much for being so generous.
No, I love talking. No, I love talking. In so many other scenarios, I am the listener. I'm a really good listener. People talk to me, and they talk to me for a long time. So it's really nice to be on the receiving end of it, where I can kind of pour.
Come back on anytime and pour, because I love hearing your inner workings.
Definitely. I would love to. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And it was, I guess the one thing I would say is that it's crazy how we even did this because of how we met. You're living in the house in Ubud Shoshi and I met in and lived in for 3 months in 2015. And it's just so crazy that we decided to stumble by and go look at it. And you were there and said, come on in, and gave us some delicious pumpkin bread, might I add. I feel like it was already a synchronicity just meeting and being able to do this.
It was so fun meeting you guys and getting to hear your story and your relationship with this house. And I didn't ask that if you guys met in this house or if you had already been. That's crazy that you met in this house and that you fell in love with one bathroom shared amongst, what was it, 10 people? And now you're engaged?
It was like 15 people. Wow. It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people using the toilet while... Yes. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much for doing this. I want to hear updates on your show, and I want to come, keep me posted on where it is, and I'll let you know when I'm coming to America, and I want to see it and all that.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Let me know when you're back in the States. It'd be great.
Will do. Have a wonderful night.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thank you.
I'm Jen Tracy, and you've been watching The To-Do Show. If you're curious about how other people tackle their days, and honestly, who isn't, there's another conversation right here that'll probably surprise you. Go check it out. And here's something interesting. There's actually research showing that people fall into 8 distinct patterns when it comes to how they organize their lives. Productivity and psychology experts like Adam Grant and Gretchen Rubin have been studying this for years. We built a quiz based on that research, and people keep telling us it's weirdly accurate. It takes about 5 minutes, and you'll understand why certain systems work for you and why others never stick. Head to thetodoshow.com or check the link in the description to take the quiz. And please, please, please hit subscribe, and you can check that off your to-do list.